Hello, hello, hello. Good morning and welcome to this week's Q&A Wednesday. How are you doing? I hope you're well. As I wait for Facebook to do its thing and to let you know that I'm here. I have my computer just the other side of me so I can try and keep track of comments and all that sort of stuff. And I thought this week, again with the theme of visibility, because that's what I'm all about, your visibility and you being able to get your stuff out there in the world to the people that you want to hear it, whether it's your book or whether it's your webinar or whether it's your your speaking, your speech that you do, your talk that you do. So this week I thought it would be a really good idea to talk about quick visibility wins. But I thought it would be a good idea to focus on quick visibility ones that aren't always obvious. So if you're on and raring to go, please say hi. And remember that throughout this Q&A call, I will try brevity this week. I'll try to keep it under 30 minutes. If you have got any questions, please type them in the box below and I will answer them. Now, I've got quite a busy day planned today. I've got a call straight after this. And I also have a couple of interviews that I'm doing later on. So I'll be interviewing somebody. So in between that, a telephone call and a webinar, we're all good. So, hi Ali, I can see that you've joined me and you've said, hey Jenny, looking good. Why, thank you. Thank you very much. I've got my microphone on and the one thing that I want to check, Ali, is can you hear me loud and proud and clearly? After the funny thing that happened was that well, not so funny really for Karen, but Karen had posted in the group on Sunday that the first 30 seconds of her Facebook Live that her sound was distorted, and I gave some recommendations on how I would cover that if that had happened to me, you know, what I would put on there, but also what I'd advise you or how I'd advise you to position it, because raising your profile, visibility is all about positioning. And oh yes, good sound, thank goodness for that. I've got a few Facebook Lives today. I've got one at 7 o'clock this evening too. So I want to make sure you can hear me. So, of course, I've given Karen this advice and I've said this is how I'd position it. And then guess what happens? Every Monday morning at 7 a.m. over on my other page, I do a Monday motivation. And unbeknown to me, for the first 3 minutes, nearly 4 minutes of the call, I sounded like like that. You couldn't hear what I was saying. And it was only when somebody jumped on to let me know. So I've discovered that I'm always saying all you need is your phone, which you actually do. I think my phone is getting a battering from the amount of video that I do, and the poor microphone might not be holding up. So for those of you that are doing Facebook Lives, I just wonder, have you noticed any sound distortion at the beginning of your Facebook Lives? Because it could be due to an update or anything else. I want to get to the bottom of it. So I can see that some other people have joined. So if you're on and want to say hi, do say hi. If you don't want me to say hello back and don't want anyone to know you're there, maybe you're watching at work secretly and blaming the sound from this like noisy lady on somebody else, then I won't shout you out unless you type in the box and say hello. So visibility wins. Visibility wins and quick visibility wins, because you know everyone has got stuff to do in their life. Some of you are are raising a family, some of you are emptying your nest, some of you are going through life changes, some of you are juggling a business and a job. Morning Lynn, hi, good to see you on here. Oops, I nearly clicked on the finish button. That wouldn't be too good, would it? So hi to you Ali, hi to you Lynn. And I know that the lovely Julia said that she was going to hop on, but let's see whether she gets on or not. So quick visibility wins, because, life is like short, time is short, and let's make the most of the time that we have. So I wanted to not just talk about quick visibility wins, but some of the less obvious ones. I guess you'd call it the method to my madness, really. Things that I've discovered and found and seen that work and don't work. So there are 3 main points to this. Quick ways for quick visibility wins are this. A, make sure that you have some sort of plan, because I'll go into more in a minute, but make sure you have a plan. Now, the other thing that I want to do is, with the rise of Facebook Live seemingly knocking Google off its perch a little bit by affecting YouTube, there's a distinction to make between Facebook Live and videos on Facebook. And what I'm going to do is, there's actually three main categories. I'm going to go through those so that you know how best to utilize them for where you are. I'm not the sort of person that says you have to do it this way. If I know something works in a certain way, I'll give you a framework so that you can place your body-sized self into that framework, your name, your brand, your personality, your reputation into the framework. And once you do that, then that's when it starts working for you. So it's not that I don't love blueprints or step processes. In fact, that's one of the easiest ways for you to teach your information, because when you're doing this and getting visible, you need to be able to give your information to people in a way that they can digest. Picture this. I have a big juicy cake in front of me. It's like your favourite cake and you want to eat it. And I come up to you, I pick it up, and as I bring it closer to you, you smell it, you sniff it, you love it, and then all of a sudden I just ram it into your face. I mean, how would that be? That thing that's gone from being a joy or a bit of interest, a bit of curiosity, what does it taste like, what will I, how will I feel when I eat it, all of a sudden becomes a big squish in your face. Now, I can see that there's more of you jumping on, so if you want to say hi, just say hi in the box below and I'll type back. And in fact, just after I just tell you the rest of this thing. I think we're back, but my connection may be weak. I'm just going to check something. I want to check the Wi-Fi box is up and okay. Ah, yes it is. I thought my Wi-Fi dropped out then. So we're back. So what I do want to do, I'm going to finish off this story about the cake and why it's so important, and an important thing to hold in your heads when you're doing any kind of visibility. I just would love to invite you underneath here to type what you do. Now, this isn't a test or anything else like that. And I'm not looking for kind of marketing speak. Are you a coach? Are you a mother? Are you an author? Are you a consultant? Are you thinking of starting a business? Are you in a place where you had a business but you don't know what the hell to do anymore? What kind of people do you work with? Do you work with people? Do you work with animals? Do you work with children? Do you work with objects? Are you a carpenter? Just type it in the box below and we'll use this to go through the next quick visibility wins. So, about that cake, this juicy, gorgeous cake you've got in front of you. I've brought it up to you. It's in front of your nose and your lips and you're smelling it and you want it, and I shove it in your face. Now, for many of us, we're so passionate about what we do, we actually sometimes forget, with our enthusiasm of the cake that we're making, whether it's the book, the product, the service or anything else, we forget that people would rather that we cut them a lovely big wedge of cake that they can eat. And you know what? If you're anything like me, you can go back for the second slice, the third slice, the fourth slice, and much, much more. Okay, so this is why I'm so passionate about quick visibility wins and about you getting your message out there. So Karen's Soul Blueprint Coach, working with entrepreneurs. Excellent. Okay, so, well, if no one else wants to tell me anything about, who they work with, what they do, then Karen, you get all the juiciness. Okay. So here's something that I would also recommend. If you haven't already, go up to the top after this, look at the pinned post and introduce yourself. If you're kind of like, oh my gosh, how best do I do it? I actually give you a really good way of introducing yourself up above. So do have a look. What I do is I encourage you to introduce yourself without putting links to your website, your blog post, because what you're actually saying to people is, I really want you to be interested in what I do, but I can't be bothered to explain it to you. Go and have a look for yourself. And that's not a good vibe, which is why this is not just about visibility, but about the vibe that you have too. So it's funny because I've got the computer open and I'm just making sure that I'm still connected and I can see these. So-and-so's Facebook Live, Facebook Live. So here's some stuff that they're likely not to know, because what I share with you are things that I've discovered through successes and also I've discovered through absolutely cocking it up, okay? I'm not the sort of person that takes on information from other people, regurgitates it and spits it out again. That's a curator and, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with the people who are doing that. I share from like my own years of experience, my own years of struggling to stand out, and the things that have worked well for me, well for clients, well for peers, and things that are just great. And I've spent a lot of money in the process doing it. A lot of mastermind groups, a lot of trips to the US because there wasn't anyone doing what I needed over here, and a lot of seminars, workshops and things. And I believe that's really important. So thank you, Karen, and thank you, Ali, for putting your things up there. So here's what we're going to cover: why you need a plan and how best to have a plan, especially when you're trying to just get out there quickly. I'm going to talk to you about 3 types of video specifically, because this is one of the fastest ways I know about getting out. And sometimes people have stuff around being on the camera. You can do video without having to be on the camera too, and we'll cover. If I forget, please remind me. I want to let you know the distinction between Facebook Live for visibility, videos for visibility, and YouTube for visibility. Each of them have a really important place for getting your work out there and getting visible in the world. But I want to talk through the distinction of that. And for those of you who are watching this, and I'll probably say this a few more times as we go through the call, but for those of you that are watching this, if you know that you want to get out there, you want to be more visible, and you know it's coming into that part of the year, isn't it, up to Christmas and New Year, and you're like, you know what, I still haven't really sussed this out. People still don't really know what I do. It's not clear. I'm not really getting the clients through the door that I would like. I'm not really getting the books out there that I want to, or people aren't really knowing what I'm doing. Then wouldn't it be better to do it this side of the new year than the other side? Okay. I believe that these visibility wins are so quick. You know, I've experienced them myself and I've seen them in others. I believe that they're so quick that you can be out and about there by October, November, and building that crescendo, building your list, building your own tribe, building your own community, and being known as a really content-rich, engaging expert, which is what you want when you are sharing such a great and beautiful message. So I'm going to invite you to, if you, I've got a one-pager, which is like the ink is literally drying on this, a one-pager. If you want to be able to start to put a plan in place on how you do your Facebook Lives, you know, videos on Facebook or YouTube or all of them, and know how to manage it and juggle that all. If you'd like a copy of this, which I'll be releasing later this afternoon, in the box below this video, just type the word Viber, because you'll hear me refer to you as Visibility Vibers. That's V for Victor, I, B for Bravo, E, R, S for Sierra. Put it in capital so I can see it. You know, put a hashtag on it if you want. Hashtag Viber or hashtag or just Viber in capitals. If you would like me to send you that once it's fresh to go later on this afternoon, then I will send it to you before I start doing the interviews at 4 o'clock. So let me know, put your comment below, and I'll be happy to do it. And if you don't want it, that's fine too. This is an invitation for you. So, and I'll say that again as and when people, because I can see people jumping on and off. So, first thing not to do is mindlessly posting. Now, the problem with Facebook Live is that it makes it look like people are just like, hi, here I am, and I'm doing a Facebook Live. Now, for a majority of Facebook Lives that I see, people are doing exactly that. Oh, have a look at this. This is what I'm doing. But for others, they're using it very strategically so that they can get the message out about what they do. So thank you, Lynn and Ali. I see your Vibers down there. I'll make sure you get a copy of that. So you see people sort of hopping on doing this stuff. Now, when I say strategic, I really want you to get the difference between strategic and manipulative, okay? When you manipulate somebody, you make them do something against their will. Much like all of us have got free will to go out into the street and accost an elderly person who might not have all of their senses and extract money from them, for example. However, a lot of us choose not to do that. So when you are getting quick visibility, and this is what isn't always obvious, especially with something like Facebook Live, there is a little bit of planning that needs to go into it, even if it's 5 minutes before you go live on Facebook, because you need to know, like a biscuit trail or biscuit crumbs, you need to know what's coming up next, and you need to lead your people by the hand. Now, if you don't do that, they often will get a good experience. They'll enjoy your Facebook Live, they'll engage, interact with you. But if they don't have that trail to follow, then it's like you're almost going, I can really help with what you do. I want to share this knowledge. I want to get it out there. See ya. And just leaving them by the side of the path. And I know that for many of you, and especially all of you in this juicy vibe, and in this group, that's the last thing that you'd want to do for anybody. The last thing you'd want to do is to neglect people or not give them a helping hand. So one of the things that you do need to do is to plan. Now, funnily enough, I'm sort of like smack bang in the middle of a Facebook challenge at the moment, the 7-day mindset makeover. We're on day 3. It's too late to join this round, but if it's something you're interested in, then just look out for the one we do next month. So I said to somebody this morning about having a plan or making a goal or however you want to articulate it. All a plan is, it's a bit like setting the sat nav. You know the destination that you're going to, but you might not. You might think you know the way to get there, but you might take a few detours. You might need to kind of recalculate on the way. That doesn't need to be set in stone, but where you're going to does. Okay. And that's the bit that sometimes people struggle with because they see such a big picture, they feel overwhelmed, or they don't see the juiciness in them. And it's strange that that my brand is a Visibility Vibes, because it's like I always see in the person in front of me what sometimes they can't see for themselves. And sometimes they'll be like, me? I can't be that person. I can't be that spiritual teacher. I can't be that best-selling, person. I can't be known as a guru or a specialist. When actually I see it really clearly, and it's that forms the plan. Okay. So for those of you that have put the Vibers piece underneath, then I will send you a template, just a 1-pager, give you some food for thought and how you can do that. So Karen Baines. Hello, Karen. Hopefully you're still here. If you are, just say hi. You are a soul blueprint coach. And as the soul blueprint coach, you work with entrepreneurs. Now, because you are clearly passionate about it, and like things that, oops, I just knocked my mic. I forgot I had it on. Things that rock your world and knock your soul can differ for different people. So there'll be a piece in your quick visibility wins to let people know, like from the ground up, how you can help them. Now, often people skip the whole kind of why they do it for people and why other people do it for them. Julia's on. Yay. Good morning, Julia. So I'm just going to catch Julia up. So I was just saying, Julia, that I've got a 1-pager that I'm going to be, literally the ink is still drying on it, a 1-pager that I'm going to be sharing this afternoon. So if you'd like a copy of it, or you're watching this on the replay, just type in capital letters in the box, Vibers, just that on its own, Vibers, as in Visibility Vibe. Do that in capitals, or do it the hashtag if you want. And I will make sure that you get a copy of that. I'll connect with you personally, make sure you get a copy of that. So do pop it in the box below. But if you don't want it, that's fine too. I'll send it to you electronically and you can print it out and wipe your face with it or do whatever you want. So that's 3 of you in for that. That's cool. So, oh, I forgot what I was saying then for a minute. Oh, yes. I was talking about getting your stuff out then. I was talking about the Soul Blueprint Coach. So there'll be a piece to getting the message, quick visibility wins, that lets people know, A, what you do, B, that you're available to help them, C, how you help them, D, how you can best help them, and E, to give them some really great information to help them to know what to do with the information you're about to share. Because here's the thing, when we get caught up in the visibility vibes, the things that isn't obvious to a lot of us is that we think everyone else has got it sorted, that they're 100% out there, they know exactly what they're doing every single step of the way. But you know what? The dirty secret, the dirty truth about entrepreneurialism is that you often make a plan, you work towards it, and then along the way, which is why the recalibration, recalculation piece comes in, along the way, you might have to realign with something because of an experience you have. It could be a dodgy client, it could be plummeting, you know, sale of a product. It could be somebody gives you some feedback and you either choose to dismiss it, or you think, you know what, I think they've got a point. It could be any of those things. So we will recalculate and recalibrate along the way. So having that plan is really important. Now, getting that information out, the how, the what, the why, the one page will go into more detail, but you can do it through Facebook Live, you can do it through videos, or you can do it through YouTube. Here's like a couple of tips. So let's start with YouTube, and I'm going to rank these in a specific order. So here are the ways to, especially if you're doing this on Facebook, here are some of the ways to have your information kind of pushed to the bottom of the queue. If you share everything through Facebook link, whether it's your own link or someone else's, that will be put to the bottom of the pile. Why? Facebook have launched Facebook Live for a reason. They want people sharing their own juicy stuff on Facebook. And remember that Facebook is a social networking site. So, you know, this could be, oh, look at my grandchild celebrating her 2nd birthday. You know, it could be, look at me, I'm in the pub with the guys, or, you know, I'm at a concert, watch this. It could be anything like that. So that's the thing to know. So the positive side of it, however, is if you are making videos, you get to practice them. If you're the sort of person that makes a video and has to spend all day just to make 1 3-minute video, you get to do that in the privacy of your own home with no one watching. Once you're happy with the final product, then you can load it up into YouTube, and you can make it public for everyone to see. You can make it unlisted so only certain privileged people can see that you send the link to, or you can make it private so that you can watch it 101 times and talk about how you went like that with your lip and that with your eye, and how it's, you know, stopped and captured the screen print of you going like this, and how you don't like it, and how you're going to have to just spend another day recording them again. Gives you the chance to do that. And, you know, for some people, that's where they are. They want to practice, 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 and then hide the video and not press send and not let anyone see it. The other good thing, of course, is that if you get past that and you have done your, you know, your 20 odd revisions, and you've shown all of your close friends and then picked one, you can then share it. And you can then share it so that you can, you know, share it to the audience that you want to. And with that link, you can click and paste it in Twitter, in LinkedIn, in Instagram, in your blog, in your newsletter, on the back of your business card, so that when you go and see people face to face, you can say, this is my YouTube channel. You can do a lot with it. You can hold your content. If you're thinking of doing an online program or product, you can hold a lot of your content on there, and that's fine. The downside, of course, is specifically with Facebook, if you then have done that video, you've spent your 2 days making it, your 20 odd people have vetted it, you've decided to do it, you put the link on your page and you stand back waiting for the rush of people to come and tell you how brilliant you are, and all of a sudden there's nothing to see because it's been put to the bottom of the queue. So how can you get it a little bit further to the top of the queue? You can do what I refer to as raw video. That is, you get your phone out or even your laptop out and you make a video. Now, between you and I, if you've practiced it 101 times and it's the 100th edition, it doesn't matter, nobody knows. But you make a video, you've got it on your phone, you've got it on your computer. What you do this time, instead of putting it into YouTube and creating that link, you put it straight into the post on Facebook. How do you do that? As if you're writing a status update, you'll see the option to either write that, post it there, or you'll see a little picture as if you're going to share a photo, as you would always do on Facebook, and it will give you the option between a photo or a video. Now, if you're doing this from your phone, all you do is click on the video icon, and it will give you the option to either create a video or upload the video that's on your phone. If you've made about 20 copies, my suggestion is delete all the ones that you don't need. Otherwise, you could accidentally post the wrong one. And that would, if you're in that world, be catastrophic. So post it into YouTube. Now, here's the juicy of it. Post it into Facebook. Here's the juicy of doing that with raw videos. You'll find you'll get like loads more views. And when I say loads more views, rather than the cursory 2 or 3, we're talking hundreds, thousands. You know, Jane, who's in this group, very busy doing some other projects at the moment, she posted something in the summer that happened very personally to her son, and she got over 15,000 views. That's what I call a viral video. But for the rest of us that are looking a bit more at conservative numbers, when you put a raw video into YouTube, into Facebook, scratch that, when you put a raw video into Facebook, it's likely that you're going to get at least 100 views, if not more. It also means that when people like it, you can say, if you love this video, just share it, pass it on to your friends. Now, this is why it's important, because if that's what you're going to do, let's say that I'm Karen and I'm the Soul Blueprint coach, I can do my video, my raw video, put it into Facebook and say, if you're an entrepreneur that needs a soul blueprint, or the thing that that Karen does, then it means that you can make the invitation on video. If you know someone who's an entrepreneur, they're going to want to watch this video, can you please share it with them? And that's how you can start to get that to go viral and to spread to the people that you need. That in turn raises your visibility very quickly. Like, you know, if you were to do that every day for a week, you will find, like I did, school friends coming out of the woodwork saying, oh my gosh, Jenny, you're doing so well. I see you on the telly all the time. And I'm like, what TV? What have I done? Oh, they mean on Facebook. So you start to get that. And the other thing that I started to notice when I first kind of employed this method, and this is something that people don't always talk about, the why behind it, why to do something. I started to get a lot more inquiries. People coming to me sometimes through Facebook and other like ways, mediums, emails and stuff like that, saying, Jenny, I saw you did a video 6 months ago about, let's just check, and we're back. So this is the other thing. If the video goes down on you, you just say, you wait, you breathe, you take a sip of tea, and then when it comes back, you say, and we're back. So, but you'll always see me doing this because my Wi-Fi box is very close. So, with the raw videos, you will get more inquiries, people knowing more about what you do, and freaky deaky, when you go out to events and things like that, people start saying, oh, I was watching your video the other day and I liked it when you said about this. And you're like, oh, you don't even know they've done it. Maybe they didn't even like it or anything else like that. When I say like it, they didn't physically like it, love it, or show any love, but people are still taking it in. People become aware of what you do, and then sometimes they become like your mouthpiece. They'll say, oh, I was watching this video the other day about this woman who does like, you know, soul blueprint for entrepreneurs, and she was talking about what you just talked about. I think you should watch it because you said you were struggling with this and she helps you with that. Now this has happened, and this has happened to me a lot. I've had people that have been referred to my Facebook public pages, to this group, and connected with me in many other ways based on a video that I've done, a raw video, put straight into Facebook. They've seen it, they've loved it, they've told someone else. Sometimes they haven't even liked it and made any comment onto it. I just get somebody else that comes along and says, oh, so-and-so told me about you, so I thought I'd watch your video. So how cool is that? It's a really quick way to get visibility. And what happens is after they start to see a bit more of you, they understand what you can do for them. But most importantly, and this is a rabbit hole that you will definitely fall down, you can then get out of your own way of thinking that you have to prove that you are the bee's knees to them. And instead, what you're sharing allows them to know that they can absolutely do it. Those people that need a soul blueprint, you know, they're an entrepreneur. It's not about you doing it for them. It's about them being able to do it for themselves. And that's what they're really scared of. And that's what video cuts through the barrier of. So the positive sides is that you get more views on Facebook and that excels. Slightly negative side of it, if you can call it that, is when you record a raw video, put it into Facebook, it's very one-sided. So I've been able to talk to Karen about this whole piece just then. Ali also very kindly popped what she did in the box, so I can now have a two-way conversation, as good as a two-way conversation, and speak to what she does. Now, Ali, and I know Ali of old, you know, her and I go back quite a way. Ali is a coach. She's a coach. I'm going to say she's an absolutely kick-ass, awesome coach. She's the sort of person that you would tell your deepest, darkest secrets to and not feel any shame in doing that, you know. So she's a coach and she's an encourager, and she's recently been working more with women in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s who want to live life more fully. Now, the catalyst of that, how do they know they want to live more fully? They've normally been through quite a big life change. It could be something that's happened in their personal life, like a split, a relationship breakdown. It could be that they've gained more weight than they had done, or lost more weight and things have changed. It could be that their children are now kind of going off to university or leaving home. It could be they've been made redundant. It could be that they've just sat at work one day like I did in 2010 and went, what am I doing here? I need to get out of here. Now, nobody's going to know that if Ali sits at home and creates even more gorgeous content, because she does a lot of stuff with leadership roles too, and those women are completely in those leadership roles. But no one's going to know what Ali is doing if she's sitting at home making nice things and never sharing it with the world. Yes, she can share it by book, she can share it by blog, she can go and speak, go to networking meetings. But one of the fastest ways, now think about this, somebody in the pit of despair, and I've gone through, you know, the whole marriage split thing as well. You know, and don't get me wrong, although it was an amicable split, there are times when I was like punching the air going, thank God I got out of that, you know. And I'm sure times that he did the same thing. But there are other times, a little bit darker, where you kind of sit there crying into your soup and thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be on my own for the rest of my life. No one's going to love me. I'm going to be a tarnished woman because I'm divorced. And it feels like the biggest, ugliest, heaviest weight that you can carry. It feels really rough. Wouldn't it be good if at that moment, maybe not when I'm blowing the snot bubbles into my soup, but at that moment, I go onto Facebook because everything's bad and it can't get any worse, and up pops one of Ali's videos. How to get back on your feet when, you know, you're going through a rough time. What to do when you're going through a rough time. What to do when a big change hits you. Can you see how useful this is? So I just want to make sure that I haven't prattled on so quickly that you're like, oops, what's going on, what, you know, what's happening, because there's one more other thing piece that I do want to talk about, and that's Facebook Live. So if you just pop into the box, you know, if you want me to give an example, I just want to bring this to life for you. This is not about me flapping my gums at you. This is about me letting you know, letting you understand how incredibly powerful your visibility is going out there. And that people don't talk about it in this way. They talk about getting out there. You've got a business. Of course, you're supposed to get out there and have clients and make money and all that kind of stuff. That's the obvious stuff. But what they don't talk about is how you can change people's lives. They don't talk about the fact that if you continue just to keep posting YouTube links, that it's likely no one's going to see your work. And you're going to say that that means nobody likes what I'm doing. Nobody wants to buy it. I am rubbish. That bit of hair that went across my face when I was doing the video made me look extra ugly, so that's why people aren't picking it up. You know, it's all of that sort of stuff, and it turns into the rubbish that we tell ourselves. And this is why I'm also passionate about doing the whole mindset makeover piece, because the one thing that I've learned and that I know for sure is that when we want to go out there in the world and be this person in the world, we need to at least work on our own mindset. We don't have to have it perfect, but we need to make sure that we're looking at what's going on inside, because our thoughts, our mindset, what goes on inside can really affect our outside, and that's not what we want. Okay, so the third thing that I'm going to leave you with is Facebook Live. So why do Facebook Live? And if you're watching this on the replay and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to know like where to put stuff on YouTube and when to do raw video and when to do Facebook Live and then what to do with it afterwards and what are the pluses and the minuses and all of that kind of stuff, write Vibers in capital letters in the box below, and I will make sure that you get a copy of the one pager so that you can then start to work through it. So the top thing, which is hot right now at the moment, and that could change. So if you're waiting for next year until you've had your website done and your rebranding and, or, you know, your last kid has gone to school, you might actually miss the boat. In fact, it's likely that you will, because something else will come along. Facebook Live has had such an impact that even on YouTube, they've changed one of the elements, which is a way that I used to do a lot of my webinars, a way that I would do my group mastermind calls and have everyone sat in the room. The way that I would interview people, they've got rid of a certain element of that, which means I can't do that now. Thankfully, I have a plan B and actually a plan C. But, you know, if you're kind of banking on one way of getting out there, it's likely that you're reducing your chances of people seeing you. So here's Facebook Live, and here's why I like it. Well, the first thing that happens is when you go onto someone else's Facebook Live, well, no, let me rewind a bit. When you do a Facebook Live or go to view a Facebook Live, you'll find that Facebook will tell you that, you know, that person is on. You can click on, you can watch them. Now, depending on where you're watching them from, if you're doing it from your phone, when you first join them, Facebook will say, do you want to subscribe to more of these? And also at the end, I'd press yes. If you like what they do, click on yes or tap on yes. And then that way, anytime they go live, you'll get a notification. And if you're in a meeting with clients or doing something else with the family, cooking the dinner, then don't worry about it. You can go back and watch it later. You can even save it, okay? Now, Facebook will let you know when that person's live, which means that if you're doing the Facebook Live, Facebook will tell your friends and those connected to you when you're live, which means that they can watch. And that's exactly what happened yesterday when the lovely Irene Brankin, she did a Facebook Live. And I just happened to go on to Facebook. I think I was checking in on the group or something like that. And it said, Irene's doing a Facebook Live. And I was like a woman possessed. Without even thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, she's live. Click, 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 watch. Come on, come on. It didn't work in like 2 seconds. It took like 5 seconds instead of the usual 2. I was like, come on, come on, I want to watch Irene. And I was able to watch her speak. And my gosh, was she a powerful woman. Irene's brand is a visible woman. And you can tell why when you see her speak. She's visible without being snuffy. She's visible and she really shows up to you. So she's got a lovely energy. And in fact, I reckon Ali and Irene, you two at some stage should just kind of connect online with each other, because I think that you will have really great stories to share with each other, especially with the kind of clients and stuff that you work with. So here's one of the kind of the downsides of Facebook Live. So many people are busy trying it, and I do the air quotes, trying it out, because this speaks to that bit at the beginning that I said about not planning. So many people are busy trying it out that they just hop on and do it for like a minute and a half. Now, if you're going to do a broadcast and you're going to do it for a minute and a half, with love, don't bother. Because by the time, and it takes a few seconds, and some of you will experience this. Sometimes it's like 2 or 3 minutes before you actually, you're expecting me, but it's 2 or 3 minutes before you get that on. And I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks ago when Shah did hers on a Friday, I was literally sat by the pool. I was in Portugal at the time, sat by the pool waiting for, the time to come. And it was a couple of minutes that she got going before Facebook notified me in my own group that she'd got going. So then I was able to hop on. So if you're going to do a Facebook Live, if you do it for anything less than 5 minutes, then you want to consider doing a video. Do a video to your phone or your computer and just load it up as a raw file into Facebook. Why? Because the whole thing, and this is where the positive piece comes in, Facebook promote you, and they promote you loads. Facebook want you to be interactive, and because you'll be being interactive, people will start to hop on, will try to communicate with you, and you need that lead-in time for that to happen and to get the momentum for it to be effective. That's when you'll get the higher view numbers and stuff like that. So if you're thinking of doing a Facebook Live and you're thinking of trying it out just for a couple of minutes, don't. Do a video instead and load it up. So if you've got any questions, please pop them in the box. But here's an opportunity for you. Rather than just listening, making notes about it and saying, oh, that was really good, I really like it, something to think about, I want you to take action. So here's what I'm going to invite you to do. Now, this is really important, so listen carefully. I want you to start getting visible. So I want you to have a place where you can start to practice this with what I call a soft place to land. So if you're in this group and you're watching this video, I want you at some point throughout today to or within 24 hours of watching this video, I'd love you to just make a little video on your phone. No lighting, no studio, no hair and makeup. In your back garden, in your bedroom, in your office, make a little video on your phone and just say hello to everyone and post it right here in the group. When you do that, if you could put the title Vibers so that I can keep a check of like where it, you know, why it's in there and that kind of stuff, and I'll give it a watch. Now, I want you to do a video as opposed to a Facebook Live, and here's why. Because I want you to do a video and I want you just to talk about whatever you want to talk about, like introduce yourself or do whatever you want to do. Speak about whatever you want to speak about. And really, because there's like over 300 people in this group, like if at least 50% of you did it, that's 150 videos for us to all watch. So I want you to get the experience of putting raw video into Facebook. And the reason why is because there's loads more you can do with that raw video. Okay, and I'll cover that at another time. So get your phone out or your computer if it makes sense. Make a very short video and post it here in the group with the title Vibers and whatever else you want to put in there, and do it within 24 hours of watching this video. Take action, otherwise it'll be another thing to do on your to-do list, another thing that you put off doing. If you're particularly shy, camera shy, and you don't want your face to be seen, then maybe show us your garden or something like that, but narrate it, you know, make a video where you're showing us something and at least speaking on the video. Is that a deal? Anyone watching that's up for that? Even if it's a nervous, yeah. So let me know. So I don't see any questions. I'm just going to double check one more time. I don't see any questions. So thank you so much for joining. So remember, have a plan. Know exactly where you want to go so that you can navigate, you know, your sat nav to get you where you want to go. Even if you take a detour, that's okay, and you have to recalculate. Make sure that you're able to plan the difference between a YouTube video, a raw video, and a Facebook Live. Because the other positive, of course, is that it's two-way interactive. I can speak to you, you can speak back to me. Okay, so make sure that you do that. So make sure that you look at how you can get your content out there in YouTube, in raw video, or in Facebook Live. So thank you for taking up the challenge. And remember that if you do want a copy of my one-pager, just put the word Viber in, and I'll keep coming back to this, and I'll make sure that you get a copy of that a bit later on this afternoon. I've got a call in a few minutes, so I'm going to go. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'm going to look forward to watching your videos. Please don't do live streams in here because it gets really confusing and complicated. Make us a video, tell us whatever you want to tell us, and pop it up in the group. And I look forward to watching them. Bye for now.